The island of Okinawa, Japan has the highest concentration of centenarians on the planet, people over 100. And when researchers began photographing these individuals, they noticed something that could not be explained by genetics alone. The skin of Okinawan women in their 70s and 80s was qualitatively different from what Western medicine would predict. Okinawan centenarian research documents dramatically lower rates of the chronic diseases that accelerate tissue aging, including the oxidative and inflammatory processes that drive visible skin deterioration. Women living on this diet for decades show far lower rates of the internal biological damage that produces aged-looking skin. This is not a beauty story. This is a biology story. And the biology points directly at what these women eat every day of their lives. I have spent 15 years watching the anti-aging industry sell expensive creams, lasers, and procedures to patients whose skin problems have a completely different cause than the one being treated. Today I am going to explain exactly what that cause is and exactly what Okinawan women do about it. Subscribe to Be Well right now and hit the like button. Let's get into it. I want you to meet Margaret, 68 years old, retired librarian from outside of London. She came to see me not for a medical complaint exactly, but because her dermatologist had exhausted their suggestions. She had been using a high-end vitamin C serum for 2 years, prescription-strength retinol for 18 months, had SPF on her face every day without fail for the past decade. She avoided direct sun. She moisturized morning and evening. Her skin had continued to deteriorate. Deeper furrows, dark patches expanding across her cheekbones, a texture that she described as paper-thin, a grayness that no amount of makeup fully covered. She sat across from me and said, "Tell me honestly, is there anything left that actually works? Because I'm starting to think this is just what 68 looks like, and I have to accept it." That statement, "I have to accept this is just what 68 looks like," is one of the saddest things I hear in practice. Not because aging is not real, but because what is driving the acceleration of visible aging in most Western women is not the passage of time. It is a set of internal biochemical processes that are identified, measurable, and significantly modifiable. Margaret was applying expensive antioxidants to the surface of her skin while the oxidative damage was originating inside her cells. She was treating the paint on a wall while the foundation was cracking. The central myth of the anti-aging industry is this: aging skin is primarily a surface problem, and therefore a surface solution, a cream, a serum, a procedure, is the primary approach. That is wrong. And the research literature has been clear about this for over a decade. Skin aging is driven by 4 internal processes: oxidative stress, chronic inflammation, collagen cross-linking from advanced glycation end products, and ultraviolet-induced DNA damage to skin cells. Notice that 3 of the 4 of those processes originate entirely inside the body: in the quality of what the bloodstream delivers to the skin, in the inflammatory cytokines circulating through the dermis, in the sugar molecules that bind to and deform the collagen fibers that give skin its structure. A topical cream, by definition, cannot address any of those 3 internal mechanisms. It sits on top of the epidermis, the outermost layer of skin, which is mostly dead cells. It cannot reach the dermis, where collagen and elastin live. It cannot alter the inflammatory environment of the blood that supplies the dermis. It cannot undo advanced glycation that has already cross-linked and stiffened collagen fibers. This is not a rejection of all topical care. Sunscreen genuinely reduces UV-induced damage, and that matters. Retinol has clinical evidence for stimulating surface cell turnover, but applied in isolation without addressing the internal processes, they produce modest results at best. A study published in the British Journal of Nutrition measured skin parameters in 716 Japanese women and found that higher intakes of green and yellow vegetables were significantly associated with reduced facial wrinkling, independent of sun exposure history. Dietary intake predicted wrinkling severity even after controlling for lifetime UV exposure. The food consumed daily mattered alongside and independent of sun history. What Okinawan women eat every day addresses all four internal aging mechanisms simultaneously, not by accident, by food chemistry that has been eating away at these mechanisms for generations. Let me explain the four mechanisms, because once you understand them, the Okinawan foods will make complete biological sense. Mechanism 1. Oxidative stress. Every cell in your body produces reactive oxygen species, unstable oxygen molecules, as a byproduct of normal metabolism. Your body has antioxidant systems to neutralize them, but when production outpaces neutralization from poor diet, chronic stress, pollution, or ultraviolet light, these reactive molecules begin damaging cellular components, including the proteins that make up collagen fibers and the DNA inside skin cells. This is oxidative aging. The skin is particularly vulnerable because it is the body's first line of contact with environmental oxidants. Think of it like metal left in the rain. The iron is sound until the oxidation begins. Then it rusts from the surface inward. Skin oxidative stress is the equivalent of rust, and the solution is not paint on top. It is an antioxidant-rich environment inside the metal. Mechanism 2. Advanced glycation end products, AGEs. This one almost nobody outside of biochemistry fully understands, and it is arguably the most important driver of visible skin aging after 50. When blood glucose remains chronically elevated, even mildly elevated in the range that would not be diagnosed as diabetes, glucose molecules attach permanently to protein fibers, including collagen and elastin. This chemical bonding is called glycation. The resulting damaged protein structures are called advanced glycation end products. Glycated collagen loses its flexibility. It becomes rigid and brittle. The elastic bounce that young skin has, that you can feel when you press and release the skin on the back of your hand, is collagen doing its job. Glycated collagen cannot do that job. The skin loses elasticity, develops permanent furrows, and takes on a yellowish tone. This process cannot be reversed with a cream. It can only be slowed by reducing the blood glucose environment that drives it. Mechanism 3. Chronic inflammation. Inflammatory cytokines, signaling molecules of the immune system, circulate through the bloodstream and bathe every tissue in the body, including skin. In chronically inflamed states, these cytokines activate enzymes called matrix metalloproteinases, which break down collagen and elastin in the dermis. Over years, this produces measurable collagen loss, not because the body isn't making collagen, but because it is being broken down faster than it is produced. Mechanism 4. Loss of hyaluronic acid and ceramide production. These are the molecules responsible for skin's water retention capacity. Hyaluronic acid holds up to 1,000 times its weight in water. Ceramides form the barrier that prevents water from leaving the skin. Both are produced internally, and both decline substantially with age and with dietary patterns that promote inflammation. The result is what most people call dry skin, but the dryness is not primarily a surface moisture problem. It is an internal production problem. Now let's go through the specific Okinawan foods and exactly what each one does to these four mechanisms. Food 1. Purple sweet potato, Okinawan beni imo. This is the dietary staple that distinguishes Okinawan eating from mainland Japanese patterns. The vivid purple color comes from anthocyanins, a class of polyphenol antioxidant that has the highest anti-glycation activity of any food compound studied to date. A study in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry confirmed that anthocyanins in purple sweet potato directly inhibit the formation of advanced glycation end products by competing with protein-binding sites. In practical terms, eating purple sweet potato regularly creates a biochemical environment where glucose molecules are less able to attach to collagen fibers. Less glycation means more flexible collagen means younger appearing skin. If you cannot source Okinawan purple sweet potato, regular purple yam has very similar anthocyanin content. Blueberries, purple cabbage, and black rice also provide significant anthocyanins. Target: at least 3 servings per week of anthocyanin-rich purple foods. Food 2. Goya, bitter melon. Okinawans consume more bitter melon per capita than anywhere else in Japan. It tastes intensely bitter, and most Western palates initially reject it. That bitterness matters biochemically. Bitter melon contains compounds called charantin and polypeptide P, which have demonstrated insulin-sensitizing properties in multiple studies. Improved insulin sensitivity means lower post-meal blood glucose spikes, which directly reduces the glycation rate in skin collagen. Additionally, bitter melon contains vitamin C at concentrations roughly equivalent to citrus, and lutein and zeaxanthin, carotenoid antioxidants that specifically protect skin from UV-induced oxidative damage. If you cannot access fresh bitter melon, it is available as a standardized extract. However, the whole food has superior bioavailability as the food matrix carries compounds that interact synergistically. Food 3. Turmeric, used daily in Okinawan cooking. Curcumin, the active compound in turmeric, has one of the most studied anti-inflammatory profiles of any food compound in pharmacological research. It directly inhibits NF-κB, the master switch that controls inflammatory cytokine production. Reduced NF-κB activation means reduced matrix metalloproteinase activity, which means reduced collagen breakdown. Critical preparation note: curcumin has very low bioavailability when consumed alone. To be absorbed effectively, it requires 2 things: black pepper, specifically piperine, the compound that gives black pepper its heat, and a fat source. Okinawan cooking naturally provides both, as turmeric is cooked in lard or sesame oil with ginger and black pepper as foundational flavor elements. The fat dissolves the curcumin, and the piperine increases absorption by up to 2,000%. Use turmeric with black pepper and a fat source every time. Without those 2 elements, you are consuming yellow powder with minimal effect. Food 4. Seaweed, specifically mozuku and kombu. Okinawa has the highest seaweed consumption of any region in Japan and the highest longevity. The 2 compounds driving the skin benefit are fucoidan, a complex polysaccharide found in brown seaweed, and fucoxanthin. Fucoidan has demonstrated significant collagen-stimulating properties in multiple studies. A 2021 trial published in Marine Drugs found that fucoidan supplementation increased type Y collagen synthesis in dermal fibroblasts, the cells that make collagen, by a measurable percentage. It also inhibits hyaluronidase, the enzyme that breaks down hyaluronic acid. Less hyaluronidase means slower depletion of the skin's water-holding capacity. Target: 5 to 10 grams of dried seaweed 3 to 4 times per week. Wakame, kombu, or mozuku, all available dried in Asian grocery stores and increasingly in mainstream supermarkets. Food 5. Tofu and fermented soy, miso and tempeh. Soy isoflavones, particularly genistein and daidzein, have estrogen-like activity in the body. This matters significantly for skin because estrogen is one of the primary drivers of collagen production. After menopause, estrogen levels drop dramatically and collagen production falls with them. One reason why skin aging accelerates noticeably in women after 50. Soy isoflavones partially compensate for this decline by occupying estrogen receptors in skin cells and stimulating collagen production. A 12-week clinical trial in women aged 50 to 65 found that daily isoflavone supplementation equivalent to 100 grams of tofu measurably increased skin elasticity and reduced fine wrinkle depth compared to placebo. This is not supplementation. This is whole food consumed daily as part of a normal meal pattern. Food 6. Green tea, specifically the cold-brewed variety consumed by Okinawan elders. Cold-brewed green tea retains significantly more EGCG, epigallocatechin-galate, than hot-steeped varieties because it avoids the oxidation that heat causes. EGCG specifically protects hyaluronic acid-producing cells from oxidative damage, inhibits the inflammatory pathways that degrade dermis structure, and has demonstrated ability to partially inhibit the glycation process in skin collagen. Preparation: steep 5 grams of high-quality green tea leaves in 500 ml of cold water for 8 to 12 hours in the refrigerator. This cold brew method preserves the maximum catechin content. Consume 2 cups per day. Understanding what to add is only half the protocol. The other half is understanding what is actively aging your skin faster than time. Skin aging food. 1. Ultra-processed foods and refined carbohydrates. This is the primary driver of advanced glycation in Western populations. White bread, pastries, pasta made from refined flour, packaged snacks, sweetened beverages. All of these produce rapid blood glucose spikes that dramatically increase the rate of collagen glycation. A single can of soda creates a blood glucose spike that produces measurable glycation in skin collagen within hours. The test: eliminate sweetened beverages and reduce refined carbohydrates for 30 days. Most patients notice changes in skin texture, reduced puffiness, improved tone, before they notice any dietary benefits anywhere else. Skin responds faster to reduced glycation load than most other tissues. Skin aging food. 2. Vegetable oils high in omega-6 fatty acids: sunflower, corn, soybean, canola. These oils are pro-inflammatory. They convert to arachidonic acid in the body, which is a direct precursor of inflammatory cytokines. The same cytokines that activate collagen-destroying matrix metalloproteinases. The Western diet has a dramatically imbalanced omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, typically 15.1 or higher, when the ideal ratio for minimal inflammation is closer to 4.1. Replace with olive oil, avocado oil, and fatty fish as omega-3 sources. Skin aging food. 3. Sugar in all forms, not just table sugar, but honey, agave, date syrup. Fructose is particularly aggressive at promoting glycation because it glycates collagen approximately 10 times faster than glucose. Honey and agave, marketed as natural sweeteners, are higher in fructose than table sugar. They produce the same glycation effect, faster. This does not mean never consuming them, but understanding that no naturally sourced sweetener is metabolically neutral for skin collagen. Write your age in the comments. The rate at which skin responds to these dietary changes, and which changes produce the most visible results first, differs significantly between someone who is 50 and someone who is 70. I want to know where you are. Here is the protocol built from the Okinawan evidence. Specific, daily, measurable. Daily: 2 cups of cold-brewed green tea throughout the day, 1 serving of fermented soy, 100 grams tofu, 1 bowl miso soup with unpasteurized paste, or 50 gram tempeh. Turmeric in at least 1 meal, with black pepper and a fat source. 200 ml warm lemon water before breakfast. Vitamin C for glutathione and collagen synthesis support. 3 to 4 times per week. 5 to 10 dried seaweed in soup, salad, or rice dishes. Fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, grilled or baked. Purple foods: purple sweet potato, blueberries, purple cabbage, black rice. Eliminate or dramatically reduce all sweetened beverages including juice, refined white flour products, processed snack foods, cooking oils high in omega-6. Photograph your face in natural light. No makeup, same angle, same time of day. On day 1 and day 30. The changes will be visible before any laboratory test confirms them. One clarification that patients ask me frequently: should I take collagen supplements? The collagen supplement industry is enormous, and the evidence is more nuanced than either enthusiasts or critics admit. Hydrolyzed collagen peptides, the form in most supplements, do have clinical evidence supporting their efficacy. A meta-analysis of 19 randomized controlled trials found that oral collagen supplementation for 90 days improved skin elasticity and hydration compared to placebo. However, the research also shows that these results require a dietary environment that supports collagen synthesis, specifically adequate vitamin C, zinc, and copper. Without those cofactors, the peptides are absorbed and used for general protein requirements, not specifically for skin collagen synthesis. If you choose to supplement with collagen, 10 grams per day of hydrolyzed marine collagen has the best evidence base. Take it with vitamin C, 500 mg, to maximize the collagen synthesis pathway. The timing of dietary zinc and copper is also important. Pumpkin seeds and sesame seeds are excellent natural sources of both. But understand this: no collagen supplement can correct a glycation-heavy diet. The supplement adds building material. Glycation destroys the building faster than it can be built. The food protocol must come first. Back to Margaret. After our initial consultation, I asked her to hold all topical treatments constant, keep the sunscreen, keep the retinol, but add the dietary protocol we had discussed. Week 1. Cold brewed green tea daily, miso soup with unpasteurized paste added to her lunch routine, fatty fish twice that week. She replaced her afternoon biscuit with a small handful of blueberries and walnuts. Week 2. We added purple sweet potato twice that week, substituted her morning toast for eggs with avocado, eliminated the packaged fruit juice she had every morning. She began using turmeric in her evening stir-fry with olive oil and black pepper. Week 3. Dried wakame added to her lunchtime salad 3 times. Her sweetened coffee, 2 spoons of sugar, reduced to 1, then 0 by end of week. At 4 weeks, Margaret called. She said, "I want to ask you something strange. The skin on my neck looks different. Not dramatically, but there is a quality to it that I haven't seen in years." My sister noticed before I told her anything. At 8 weeks, she came in. The grayness that had characterized her skin for years had measurably reduced. The dark patches on her cheekbones, hyperpigmentation from oxidative melanocyte irregularity, were visibly lighter. The texture had improved in a way she described as less paper, not the skin of a 45-year-old, but measurably different from the skin of 6 weeks ago. "I kept waiting for a cream to do this for 20 years, she said. "It was the food the whole time. It is always the food. Because the food is what the skin is made of." 1. Eliminate 1 glycating food this week. Pick the biggest, sweetened beverages, packaged juice, or white bread, and remove it for 30 days. Skin will show measurable change before any blood test. 2. Begin cold brewed green tea. 5g leaves in 500 ml cold water. Refrigerate overnight. Drink 2 cups daily. EGCG is the most powerful dietary inhibitor of skin collagen breakdown. 3. Add turmeric to 1 meal every day, with black pepper and olive oil or another fat. No exceptions. Curcumin without fat and piperine is metabolically inactive. 4. Add seaweed 3 times this week. Dried wakame in any soup. Kombu strip in cooking broth. Fucoidan is one of the most researched marine-derived compounds for collagen stimulation, with multiple studies documenting its effects on dermal fibroblasts, the cells responsible for collagen production. 5. Photograph your face in natural light today. Same angle, no makeup. Check again in 30 days. You will see the difference. 6. If you use a collagen supplement, take it with 500 milliliters vitamin C and check your diet for adequate zinc and copper first. 7. Get your fasting blood glucose and HbA1c tested. If your HbA1c is above 5.5%, you have accelerated collagen glycation happening right now. That number, reduced even modestly, produces visible skin changes within months. The anti-aging industry will not tell you any of this because the solution is food, not product. There is no margin on bitter melon or cold brewed green tea. There is no subscription model for purple sweet potato. The industry profits from your uncertainty about what is causing the problem. Subscribe to Be Well, hit like, and write your age in the comments, because the most effective part of this protocol differs between 50 and 70 in specific, clinically important ways, and I want to address your exact situation. See you in the next video.